Coach. How you doing?
I'm good. We waiting for the official
Hey,
start.
Larry Vickers now getting ready to enter his fifth full season as the head coach of the Spartans. 72-60 is the overall record, coming off a 12-4 second place finish in the conference last year. And of course, the Spartans season opens a week from tomorrow at UNC Wilmington. Coach, if you could just start us off with maybe a couple thoughts on how preseason's gone so far, and
Okay.
looking ahead to the start of
Okay.
the season next week.
Okay. Well, I'll say, 2020 has been a very interesting year, and pretty much everything that, could have went wrong for us probably has. We weren't able to do anything collectively as a group. No team bonding. No nothing. I couldn't even get like the whole team in a room until September 21st, which, as you know, Monty talked about in Alexis, was tough because we have so many new players. We brought in 8 new players this year, 9 new players. One of them's not going to be able to play this year, but we brought in 9 new players. So um, this was not the year not to have summer in a preseason. And from there, day by day, it's just been injury after injury. We probably had 6 practices total with more than 7 people in them. So we're excited for next week, but it's a different type of excitement because we have no clue what we're going to get.
All right, David, you want to start us off?
Who? Did you say me?
Yeah, you can start us off if you'd like.
Oh, hey, LB.
Hey,
Yeah, with 9 new players, do you just said you have no clue what you're going to get? I mean, do you really have no clue, or is there some idea,
oh
some
no,
identity building?
no, I have no clue. I have no clue at all. We are going to look a lot different than last year. Just from like Alexis, she's probably 5'8", 5'9" at the point guard spot. All my point guards have been like 5'4", super small, speedy. Our other point guard, we brought in Naya. She's about the same size as Alexis, 5'9", little bigger point guards. Where even from a pace standpoint, we just look different. Then our wings have gotten a lot taller as well. Monty will have a big piece to do with the program defensively and offensively. But, Jalen and Jaden, they're bigger guards as well. So that's why we've been playing a lot more zone. We just look different athletically. Last 2 years, we've had 3 bigs. So this year, we have 5 bigs on our roster. 2 of them have torn ACLs and 1 an MCL. But so we were planning to be just a bigger, more physically imposing team. We would have looked like an all airport team. I would have said we would have been all airport at this point because we had the basketball look. But like I said, a lot of our now 4 out of our 5 bigs are hurt currently. So next week we'll kind of roll in playing 4 guards, and we're just gonna roll it out there and see what we get.
Who is your only healthy big person?
Talia Edmond from Norview. So Talia's done an amazing job. We brought Talia on as like a preferred walk-on because she's like 6'3", and we knew she could grab the rim. And early on, it was clear, it was evident that she was definitely a Division I player. So she played last year. Last year we had such a veteran group that she wasn't able to kind of get the minutes. But last year she could have played 15 minutes, and this year she'll probably play close to in between 20 and 25.
Go ahead, Ross.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Oh,
Dave.
Dave, you go ahead. Dave, you can go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to ask, with so much unknown, is this just going to be, especially the non-conference part of the season, is just going to be playing it by ear and trying to figure out what it is you have, or try to identify some kind of style of play?
Well, I mean, it would have been really beneficial to be able to get some officials in here and have our scrimmages. The NCAA canceled those. So even though I haven't really read anything about what they're going to do this year for the records, like it's not like that really matters. There's so much stuff going on in the world. Like the records don't really matter. But I told my team we're looking at Wilmington and Salem as those are our first 2 scrimmage games. The month of November, those are our scrimmages. Once we get into December, I think we have Liberty first, December 1st. That is our first official game for us. We're looking at those first two scrimmages, even though they count, even though you can see them. It's just a situation where we're kind of beginning our season December 1st. And some other programs I know still were able to have um, summer workouts. I know some other programs, it was probably about, Alexis probably got here around August 13th, and she spent 5 weeks here without being able to run on the track, meet her teammates, work out with their coaches, really be in the room with their coaches other than in the gym. Like we could meet with them in the gym just because of the square footage, but the school didn't want us to do anything until September 21st. So as soon as we started rolling September 21st, they had taken 7 months off, so the bodies weren't really adjusted, and that's when the injuries started kind of coming in.
Coach, with a condensed season and an opportunity for them to get this year back, how important is it for them to get healthy or to get back and play this season, or is it even a thought to even really get them back on the court this season?
Well, the competitive side of us, like the competitive side in us all, um, we're even though I said we're looking at Wilmington and Salem and scrimmages, we're looking to win everything that we can be a part of. We know there are going to be some challenges this year. We know there are going to be some games canceled. So, like if you look, we just added Hampton December 15th. So that week we have Wake Forest the 13th, Hampton the 15th, Richmond the 17th, and William and Mary is the 20th. In a normal year, I would have never done that. I would have never done that in a normal year. But there's going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, we never get shut down for COVID. But it'll probably happen at some point. It only takes one positive test and one positive rapid test that's not even, they're only at this point 85% accurate. One positive, rapid test and we're shut down for 14 days automatically. So, it's a situation where we know we're not going to be able to play the whole 24 game schedule that we have. But like I said, as they want to play, I want to coach. So, we're going to try.
Has the word load management come into your mind, knowing that you have to play those games like that? I know that's an NBA term, but load management with some of the young ladies come into mind.
Well, we load managed a little bit last year. Blair she was a 6 year senior who had like Achilles and some other things going on. Jeanette was obviously her 5th year. Deja was in her 4th year, but it was her 5th year of college. So last year we had a veteran group. Um, right now, I know the 6 players that I have practicing every day. I know they wish that I wanted to load manage at this point. But at this point, we're just trying to get better. We're trying to get better. My whole entire staff is dressed for practice every day. It's almost coaches versus players. It's really interesting. Because it's like the retired college players versus the current, and that's what practice is like now. So they'll be excited if I mention the word load management, but I probably won't.
You lost a lot of production in the backcourt last year from your backcourt from Jeanette and LaDeja. How have you tried to do that or replace that this year?
Well, I'll tell you, it, it was pretty early. I realized that if I coach here for a long time, which I hope to do, um, last year's backcourt with Jeanette Hicks and LaDeja James might be the best backcourt pairing I ever have. Like that was a special, special backcourt. Now, I mean, I've had special like Kayla Roberts and Jordan Stroh, like that competes with them. But as far as that's one power forward and then a 2 guard, so we'll have special players, but that backcourt was special. Alexis, she is up for the challenge. I mean, she's up for the challenge. She's looking better than ever. I asked her, like, what's it like post ACL? She's like, I'm feeling faster than ever. She's a remarkable ball handler. Scoring's not going to be an issue for her. I just keep kind of nudging her. Hey, can you give me 2 more assists? Can you give me 2 more assists? Because I feel like she'll be a double-digit scorer for us, no problem. And then Jalen Holmes and Jaden Morris, along with, Cameron Pratt Morris. I think we have, by committee, our guard group is probably better than last year, but we don't have that star power at the top like last year.
Coach, I think everybody wants a year as a head coach where you don't have to do too much coaching, especially offensively or maybe defensively. And last year might have been that year where you had to do something, but just to have a player who can go get it done for you. I know it helps out a lot. This year might be a little bit more stress on you. Talk a little about how like that transition has gone for you.
Well, this year's group is a lot different than last year's group, and I'm not scared about the point production. I'm really scared about the chemistry, and the reason why I'm not scared about the point production because this is going to be the best shooting team I have by far. Like it's not even close. This is the best shooting group I have. Sometimes I'd be like, man, if Jalen could have played on last year's team, that would have just stretched the floor for us a little bit more. Last year we had all drivers. Danielle Goodhope, Armani Franklin, LaDasia James, Shanette Hicks. They were all slashers, all of them. All of them were slashers. So now this year I have Alexis Davis and Armani Franklin hasn't done nothing but work on her jump shot all summer. And I tell her, I said, Armani, that's fake because I want her to get back to driving. But it's been consistent. She's been knocking them down. She's been working really hard. But then Jaden and Jalen and we can just we can shoot the ball, which is now a little bit different because I'm like, well, who's going to be that person to get in the gap and, condense the defense? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. But once that ball gets thrown to that wing or to that corner, I feel like it's good. So we're going to score. It's just going to be different. They're going to be games. There were games last year we hit 4 threes. I was celebrating, taking myself out to Bahama Breeze for a nice drink. Now that we get 4 layups, it might be something, on the flip side to where, I'm going to have to find other reasons to celebrate.
Coach, with that being said, like you said, there's no reason to worry offensively. Defensively, though, I know that's where you focus a lot. I know that's where your bread has been buttered over the last couple of years. Since you've been coaching, even on the men's side, you cared a lot about defense.
Mm.
How again, since the last time we talked about this being more of a zone team. How has things started to come together on that end of the floor?
Well, yes. 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 That's my answer. Yes. You didn't really answer a yes or no question, but yes. I just feel like, defensively, defense is chemistry. Chemistry. Last year's group was different from the 2 years group we had the 2 years prior because last year's group, we were one of the best teams in the country getting steals with Armani and Shanette and leading the transition points. The year before, with Raven Kendrea, Khadidra Croker, who obviously is our all-time leading shot blocker, we were a shot blocking team. And so we went from the shot blocking team to the team that got a lot of steals to now this year, I really can't tell you yet. But I will say our length is going to be our biggest attribute. Like I said, last year we struggled against teams that could shoot because, Shanette's 5'5", Deja's 5'6", Monty's 5'5". And now our wings are 5'10", 5'10", 5'11", 5. Our point guards are 5'9". So it's just going to look a little different. It's going to look a little different. But I'm just going to have to adjust. Maybe we don't get as many turnovers, but our defense might not be our best offense, which will be different for us.
All right, Matt, I think you had a question as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. This is kind of an overview question for the sport and conference and then your team specifically. How much do you see teams changing from November 25th to the February, we get to that point, if we are still playing in no outbreaks, how much do you see teams changing, and then specifically your team, how much do you think it will be changing as you go along the journey? Because coaches always talk about growth. Do you see a lot of change happening?
Yes. I do. I could tell you, I know we started September 21st. I think Hampton, their players didn't get on campus till October 1st, so they're a little bit behind us. So, every school is going to have little things. Different men's and women's basketball teams across the country have been shut down due to COVID. For us, if you're coughing, you're not in practice that day. So it's like we have had ACL injuries, so a cough keeps you out of practice that day until we can get you rapid tested and, until Spartan Health clears you. A cough, a normal cough. Now, mind you, it's the winter. So every time somebody coughs, they miss practice. It's automatic. So generally, we want to play our best basketball in February and March. But in February and March, we probably will still be looking like a mid-December, early January team. So I just know overall as we watch these college basketball games, no matter if you're for us Stanford or South Carolina or UConn or on the men's side, Duke, Kentucky, whoever else is up there this year, I'm not really sure. You're going to see the product that you see on TV isn't going to be the product that you're used to seeing. It's just not, because it's been just so difficult to keep a team on the floor and build chemistry. Like, I know when y'all had the opportunity to talk to Coach Jones earlier, and he sleeps better at night than I do because he has 10 returners, who just kind of went through a whole year. I wasn't afforded that luxury this year, so it's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of new grays. But we're excited about the challenge, and this will definitely be my hardest year coaching. But like you said, I think you'll see drastic change, but I don't think the product's going to look as good as it has in the past.
Any other questions for Coach? All right. If not, Coach, we will let you go. Thank you for joining us today, and best of luck and best of health as the season's just about a week away.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.